I, 28F, found out my fiancé, 31M, has been secretly living a double life with another woman, and now I'm sitting in my car outside her house with a USB drive that could destroy both their worlds. Do I do it? I thought I had the perfect relationship. Ryan and I met at work 3 years ago, got engaged 6 months back, and we're supposed to get married next spring. He's the kind of guy every girl's parents love. Corporate lawyer, volunteers at the animal shelter on weekends, remembers anniversaries. We live together in his downtown condo, have 2 cats, and we're house hunting for our forever home. 2 days ago, I was doing laundry and found a receipt in his pants pocket from a restaurant I didn't recognize, dated last Tuesday when he said he was working late. Not suspicious by itself, but something felt off. Call it intuition or paranoia from my past relationship baggage, but I checked his credit card statements when he was in the shower. What I found made my blood run cold. Hotel charges on nights he claimed to be on business trips. Uber rides to a part of town he had no reason to visit. Restaurant bills for 2 when he was supposedly having client dinners alone. I felt sick. I confronted him that night. He got defensive immediately. You're being paranoid again. Do you want me to quit my job? Is that it? He turned it around on me like he always does when I question anything. Red flag number 1000, but I was too deep to see it. Yesterday morning, he left for work early. I called in sick and decided to follow him. I'm not proud of it, but something in my gut was screaming. He didn't go to his office. He drove across town to a suburban neighborhood and pulled into the driveway of a house with a white picket fence and a minivan in the driveway. A woman opened the door. Pretty, early 30s, clearly pregnant. They kissed. Not a friendly peck. A lingering, familiar kiss between 2 people who do this every day. I sat there for 2 hours, shaking, taking photos, screenshots of his location. He left at noon, probably to get back before anyone noticed he was gone. I waited until he was out of sight and drove home, where I packed a bag and went to my sister's house. That night, while he was passed out after his usual 3 bourbons, I checked his laptop. He hadn't logged out of his email. I found everything. The woman's name is Sarah, 32F. They've been together for 4 years, 1 year longer than Ryan and I. They have a 2-year-old daughter named Emma, and baby number 2 is due in 3 months. She thinks he's divorced and that I'm just a crazy ex who won't leave him alone. The emails were nauseating. He called her his real family, said keeping me around was necessary for appearances at work but that he'd handle it after the wedding. There were house listings they'd been looking at in Florida. Plans to move there with the kids after our wedding when he'd have access to my inheritance from my grandmother. I screenshot everything, saved it to a USB drive, and made copies. Then I hired a private investigator to get more evidence. I also called my lawyer friend, who connected me with a family attorney. Ryan doesn't know I know anything yet. The investigator confirmed Sarah has no idea about me. She works at a local elementary school, is well liked in her community, and genuinely believes Ryan is getting divorced from a woman named Michelle, not me, who lives out of state. He's been feeding her elaborate lies for years. Here's where it gets complicated. If I expose him, I destroy not just his life but hers too. She's innocent in this. She's about to have a baby and has a toddler. I could inform her privately about me, or I could go nuclear and send everything to his boss, his family, and everyone who needs to know. Or I could play the long game. Gather more evidence, protect my assets, and disappear after taking him for everything in court. The problem is, I'm not that person. I've always been the do the right thing type. I'm sitting outside her house right now with a USB drive. Ryan thinks I'm at yoga class. I know I need to tell her. But how do you tell a pregnant woman that her partner, the father of her children, is a monster? What would you do? First update. Thank you all for the overwhelming response. I've read every comment, and honestly, some of you scared me with how well you understood this situation. To those who shared similar stories, I'm so sorry you went through this too. I didn't go inside Sarah's house that day. Instead, I drove to a nearby coffee shop and spent 3 hours just sitting there, staring at the USB drive. I called my therapist and made an emergency appointment. She helped me see that I was carrying too much guilt for other people's choices. That night, I ordered takeout and acted normal. Ryan came home, we watched a movie, and he made love to me like nothing was wrong. I felt disgusting, but I was gathering evidence. I recorded him on my phone saying he loved me and couldn't wait to start our family after the wedding. Then I drove to my sister's and threw up for an hour straight. The next morning, I printed out everything and put it in a manila envelope. I wrote Sarah a letter. Dear Sarah. My name is Elena. I'm engaged to Ryan Matthews. I believe you know him too. I don't want to hurt you, but you need to know the truth about the man you're having children with. Inside this envelope, you'll find proof that Ryan has been lying to both of us. I'm sorry. You deserve better. So does your daughter, and so does the baby you're carrying. There's also my phone number if you want to talk. I'm on your side in this. We're both victims here. Elena. I left it in her mailbox at 6 a.m. before Ryan woke up. I'd attached a sticky note saying urgent, read alone on the outside. Then I went home and waited. Around 10 a.m., my phone rang from an unknown number. It was Sarah. She was crying so hard I could barely understand her. Is this real? She kept asking. He said you were stalking him. He said you were divorced and trying to get money from him. We talked for 2 hours. She was 8 weeks pregnant but told everyone she was 12 weeks along because Ryan insisted she lie about it. Turns out, the timing would prove that Emma was conceived while he and I were already dating. She promised to go to her doctor that afternoon to confirm the dates. Sarah also revealed she'd been feeling gaslit for years. Ryan would disappear for days, blame his ex-wife, and she'd feel crazy for doubting him. Her friends had warned her, but she was so in love and wanted to give Emma a father. Now she felt stupid and broken. I told her about the house listings in Florida. She gasped. He said it was a surprise. That he was planning to propose soon and show me our dream home. I wanted to vomit again. We agreed to meet the next day, away from where Ryan might find us. She was scared to confront him alone, and honestly, so was I. We chose a diner 2 towns over. That evening, Ryan came home early. Let's go out for dinner, baby. I just closed a huge deal. He was in an unusually good mood. I noticed he kept checking his phone, smiling at messages I couldn't see. Sarah was probably still reeling from my envelope, not responding to his texts. At dinner, I played the perfect fiancé. I asked about the Florida plans. Florida? What about Florida? He looked genuinely confused. I said I'd overheard him on the phone mentioning it. Oh, that's a client thing. Boring work stuff. The lies came so easily to him. I wondered how many times I'd overlooked red flags like this. When I got home, I had a voicemail from Sarah. Her voice was shaky but determined. I saw my doctor. I'm exactly 8 weeks pregnant, not 12. He's been lying about everything. And Ryan has another phone I've never seen. I found it in his gym bag when he was showering. We're definitely meeting tomorrow. I have more to tell you. I'm scared of what else I'll learn tomorrow, but I know I need to see this through. Ryan suspects nothing yet, which gives us an advantage. Sarah and I are planning our confrontation strategy. I've also moved most of my personal valuables to my sister's house and transferred my inheritance to a separate account. My lawyer says this is normal relationship protection and not illegal in our state. I'm getting smarter about protecting myself. Tomorrow will change everything. I'll update you all on how it goes. Second update. Holy shit. I'm still processing everything that happened yesterday. My hands are shaking writing this. I met Sarah at the diner at 11 a.m. She looked tired and scared, but there was a fire in her eyes I didn't expect. She brought Emma, who's the cutest toddler with curly hair just like Ryan's. Seeing her made this all feel so much more real. Sarah had printed out her own evidence. Turns out, she'd hired a pie 6 months ago because her sister noticed Ryan wearing a wedding ring on his right hand at their work gym. He told Sarah it was a family heirloom, but she knew better. The pie confirmed he was engaged, but for some reason, the investigation ended there. Sarah chose denial. I was pregnant, she said, crying. Where was I supposed to go? The most shocking revelation, Ryan has another phone and another life. A third one. Sarah found texts to someone named arranging meetups. The pie she rehired traced it to a woman named Ashley, 27F, a yoga instructor at Ryan's gym. They've been seeing each other for 8 months. Ashley thinks Ryan is separated from his wife but living at home for financial reasons until the divorce finalizes. 3 of us. 3 complete lies. God knows if there are more. Sarah suggested we call Ashley together. My heart was pounding, but I agreed. Sarah had her number from going through Ryan's phone. We put it on speaker. Ashley picked up immediately. Ryan? You never call from this number. It's not Ryan, Sarah said. This is Sarah, and I'm here with Elena. We need to talk about Ryan. The line went quiet. Then, who the fuck is Elena? We spent 45 minutes on that call. Ashley broke down when she realized the truth. She genuinely believed he was divorcing me, though she knew me as Melissa. He'd shown her fake divorce papers. We all felt so stupid, yet none of us were stupid. He was just that good at manipulating. We made a plan. Ashley would text Ryan asking to meet Saturday night at their usual hotel bar. Sarah and I would be there, hidden, recording everything. We wanted him to confess in his own words. But Thursday night, everything escalated faster than we expected. Ryan came home stressed. Sarah hasn't been answering my calls. She's probably just tired from the pregnancy. He seemed nervous, checking his phones constantly. I now recognized he had to. I took a chance. Actually, I've been thinking. Maybe we should take a trip to Florida this weekend? Look at some of those houses you mentioned. His face went pale, then red. I told you, that's work stuff. Why are you bringing it up again? Because Sarah lives in Florida, right? I said it calmly, like I was asking about the weather. He froze. Actually froze. For about 10 seconds, he stared at me with this terrified expression. Then the anger hit. What the fuck did you just say? I pulled out my phone and showed him a picture of Sarah, Emma, and me at the diner. This was yesterday. We had a lovely conversation about you. The next 20 minutes were chaos. He yelled, threw things, called me every name in the book. Then he switched tactics, crying, apologizing, saying he loved all of us but got trapped in his lies. He begged me not to tell anyone else, especially his job. I recorded everything on my phone, hidden in my pocket. Finally, I dropped the bomb. Ashley knows too. We're all meeting Saturday to discuss your future. He broke down completely. Actual sobbing. What do you want from me? I'll do anything. I was surprisingly calm. Maybe anger does that to you. First, you're leaving this house tonight. Second, you're going to confess everything to your boss and your family. Third, you're going to sign whatever papers our lawyers draw up. And fourth, you're going to get therapy. He left that night. Didn't pack much, just grabbed his laptop, some clothes, and both phones. I didn't tell him Sarah and Ashley had also kicked him out. I later learned he's staying at a hotel near his office. Yesterday, I got calls from his mother, his boss, and his sister. He confessed to some sanitized version of the truth, having an emotional affair and being stressed about work. I sent them all the evidence. His mother cried and apologized. His boss scheduled a meeting about ethics violations. His sister called him a fucking idiot and apologized for not seeing the signs. Sarah texted me this morning. She's staying with her parents and talking to a therapist. Emma keeps asking for daddy, which breaks everyone's heart. Ryan's been texting her nonstop, promising to change, to be better. She blocked him. Ashley also reached out. She's embarrassed and taking a break from her gym. Turns out, Ryan was talking about leaving me to marry her once the divorce finalized. She started therapy too. We've all decided to go no contact with him. My lawyer is handling my case, Sarah has her own lawyer, and they're coordinating on custody/child support issues. I've moved back to my apartment from before I met Ryan. His condo is covered by his prenup draft, which I never signed, thank God, so I'm safe financially. I started seeing a new therapist who specializes in trauma from pathological liars. The weirdest part? I feel relief more than anything. Like I've been holding my breath for years without realizing it. I still have questions. How many other women? How did he keep it all straight? Was anything real between us? But I don't need those answers to move forward. To everyone who commented on my first post telling me to expose him, you were right. The truth, no matter how painful, is always better than living a lie. My final meeting with him is next week when we sign the separation papers. I'm nervous but ready. I'll update you one last time after that. Final update. I'm writing this from my new apartment's balcony, watching the sunset. It's been 3 weeks since I met Sarah, and everything has changed. The meeting with Ryan never happened as planned. The day before we were supposed to sign papers, he tried to kill himself. His mother found him unresponsive in his hotel room. Pills and alcohol. He's alive, but spent a week in intensive psychiatric care, and now he's at an inpatient facility for at least 30 days. This might sound terrible, but I felt nothing. Not relief, not sadness, not guilt. Just emptiness. My therapist says it's normal after what I've been through. While he was in the hospital, Sarah and I kept in contact. We've become something like friends, united by our shared trauma. Emma calls me Elena and waves at video calls. The baby is healthy, and Sarah's determined to raise both kids without their father's influence. Ashley popped back up last week. She found out she'd briefly overlapped with a fourth woman, a colleague from Ryan's firm named Diana, 29F, who he dated 5 years ago. Diana reached out to warn Ashley after seeing her at the gym and recognizing her from Ryan's phone. He's apparently obsessive about keeping photos. Diana had her own horror stories about his gaslighting. It's terrifying realizing how deep his deception went. The investigator I hired found evidence of at least 6 different women over the past 8 years. Ryan was like a juggling act, keeping us all in separate orbits, each believing we were his one true love. His firm fired him the day he got out of the psych ward. Not just for the ethics violations, but for using company resources for his double, triple, quadruple life, expensing dinners with us as client meetings, using the firm credit card for hotel rooms, scheduling client calls to talk to us. His law license is under review. Sarah and I have built a support group of sorts. Diana joined our group chat. Even Ashley, though she felt tremendous guilty for being the other woman, we all told her she was as much a victim as the rest of us. We call ourselves Ryan's Recovery Club. Dark humor helps. The prenup he tried to get me to sign included a clause about infidelity that would have left me with nothing had I cheated. When my lawyer read it to his, they laughed bitterly. The projection was insane. I've decided not to pursue any legal action beyond the separation. His mother begged me to let them handle him as a family, and honestly, I'm done spending energy on him. Sarah's taking him for child support, which is fair. The house in Florida they were looking at? His parents are buying it for Sarah and the kids. They're horrified by what their son became and want to make amends. 6 days ago, I was going through old photos, deleting Ryan from my digital life, when I found a selfie from our third date. We were at a mini golf course. He was laughing, holding the scorecard, and I was kissing his cheek. I looked so happy. So did he. I think that's what hurts most. The realization that someone can compartmentalize so effectively, they can create real moments of happiness while simultaneously destroying multiple lives. Was anything real? My therapist says even pathological liars have genuine emotions, but maybe they're just broken connections between what they feel and what they do. I still have nightmares. Dreams where I'm back at our apartment, making dinner, and he walks in smiling like everything's normal. I wake up sweating, then remember I'm safe. That he can't hurt me anymore. To anyone who related to my story, pay attention to your gut. Mine was screaming for months, but I gaslighted myself into ignoring it. No one's love should make you doubt your own reality. I'm starting to date again. Nothing serious, just coffee dates and learning to trust again. It's terrifying but necessary. My first date asked why I verify everything he says about himself, why I look up restaurants and check his stories against his social media. I considered lying, then told him the truth. He was incredibly understanding. Ryan's family sends me cards apologizing. His mother asked to have lunch with me last week. We met at a cafe. She looked older, tired. She said she raised 3 kids, and Ryan was always different, manipulative even as a child, charming but ultimately selfish. She thought he'd grow out of it. Instead, he perfected it. She showed me old family photos. There was teenage Ryan with different girlfriends at different family events, sometimes on the same day. We should have known, she said. We should have known. The truth is, we all should have known. But manipulation is an art form, and Ryan was Da Vinci. Today, I found out Ryan's being discharged next week to outpatient care. He'll likely move back with his parents until he figures out his life. Part of me hopes he gets help. Part of me thinks he's incapable of real change. Part of me doesn't care anymore. I've started volunteering at a women's shelter, sharing my story in support groups. Turns out, gaslighting and emotional manipulation are heartbreakingly common. My story helps others recognize the patterns. Sarah sent me a video yesterday. Emma was clapping and saying bye-bye dada to a picture on the fridge. Sarah's getting counseling prepared to explain to Emma why daddy won't be around anymore in a way a 2-year-old can understand. The new baby will never know him. Maybe that's for the best. I've changed as a person. I'm more cynical but also stronger. I trust my instincts now. I've set boundaries I never knew I needed. I'm pursuing therapy not just to heal from Ryan, but to understand why I was vulnerable to someone like him in the first place. To everyone who offered advice, shared stories, and supported me, thank you. This community helped me feel less alone during the most isolated time of my life. Your comments gave me strength when I needed it most. I'm not the same person who wrote that first post. I'm more guarded now, more aware, more in tune with reality. But I'm also more authentic, more compassionate, and weirdly, more hopeful. If I can survive this, if Sarah can, if we all can, there's hope for anyone dealing with betrayal. Life moves forward. It has too. And for the first time in years, I'm looking forward to seeing where it takes me next. Just me, no one else pulling the strings. That's my story. Thank you for reading. Thank you for caring. You've been part of my healing journey, and I'm grateful. Take care of yourselves. Listen to your guts. And remember, the truth, no matter how shattering, is always better than a beautiful lie.